welcome you all to the Golden Jubilee edition of International Film Festival of India. Nature is so powerful and so strong that capturing its essence is not easy. Today, we have with us such great filmmakers whose works have become a guide for the next generation. They have explored the hidden beauty of nature in films. This session focuses on making films which can bring awareness and change perceptions. Our first guest produces content that not only entertains but also gives us a reality check and a strong social message. He is an 8-time consecutive National Award winner. A big round of applause to Mr. P.SHESHADRI. Our next guest conveys his innermost thoughts and feelings through films. He is considered one of the most important contemporary voices in Indian cinema. He has won 3 national awards. Please give a round of applause to Dr. BIJUKUMAR Damodaran. Our next guest uses his unique approach to acting in Marathi films and his charm has won many hearts. He has won the National Award for his work. Please put your hands together for Mr. ADDINATH M. KOTHARE. The session will be carried forward by a well-known editor and trade analyst in Bollywood, Mr. Komal Nahata. Now, I would like to request Mr. Thank you, sir. Now I hand over the stage to our moderator, Mr. Komal Nahata.
I am an esteemed company today. They are the filmmakers, Mr. P.SHESHADRI, Mr. Damodaran and ADDINATH. They have made films which have more than entertainment to offer. They have used nature in their films like any other character. So whether it's Amitabh Bachchan or Rajinikanth, but nature plays a very important role in their stories. And that is why their films are very different. Without much ado, I'll start the session. Mr. P.SHESHADRI, I would like to know from you, is there a difference between making normal films and making films with nature as an important character, or films about nature? I know you have not made directly nature-oriented films, but you have made environmental issue films. So is there a difference between these two kinds of cinema?
First, I would like to take anticipatory bail. I have not made films on nature directly. As you said, I have made 12 films. Out of 12 films, 2 of my films have won Best Environmental and Conservation Award. I think that's why I'm here. Both the films, one was done in 2005. The story of a group of children, where they construct their own playground. It's indirectly to the nature. So yes. which won Best National Award. And also 2010 I did one novel-based film that is called Man in the Hills. Couple lives in the hills.
Okay.
They grow crop and other things, and they love nature. Okay. They fight against the nature.
Okay. So, Man in the Hills.
Man in the Hills.
I thought Man in the Hills, and I was reminded of Key and Car.
Actually, the film was inspired Postman in the Mountain. No? Okay. When I saw the film, I loved that film very much, and I did the film. Yes. Directly or indirectly, all my films are related to nature. Nature plays a major role.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So is that very difficult or different from making films where nature is not a character?
No, it's a character.
No, so is that different from making films where nature doesn't play an important role?
Exactly. Okay. Most of the films, it acts like a catalyst. Okay. Catalyst in the film. Okay. So directly we speak about the nature. So we have so many social issues around, nature and our planet is under threat, So we take those issues and deal in the feature film, because feature film means it reach more audience. It has got a good reach. So that
nothing reaches the audience as much as cinema.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a wider audience and also some awareness. We want to bring some awareness among the audience through feature films. Making documentary is entirely different. Making feature film is entirely different.
Mr. Murugan, is that also the reason why you tackle environmental issues in your films? Yes.
I think I'm also in the same boat of Mr. Sheshadri.
So he also applies for anticipatory bail.
So yeah, because I done 10 films, and out of 2 films won the best film for the environmental films.
Oh wow.
So in 2013, my film, it is about the, it's a cleaner, or a municipality cleaner. So it discusses the waste management system. And it is not directly, but indirectly the character lives in the street. He is sweeping the things, and and the second one, it is in 2014. So another movie won national award is for the environmental is.
Who will not seek anticipatory bail because he has in fact made a film on nature. It's a beautiful film. I just saw the trailer and I had goosebumps and I had tears in my eyes while watching the trailer. It's called Pani. Pani, as you know, but in Marathi it is Pani, and he's won the national award for that film, best film on environment. So I think all 3 are national award winners. I'm waiting for mine. Someday I shall get it. So what prompted you to make a film on the problem of scarcity of water? Was it to convey a message, convey awareness, or it was purely commercial? Okay, this has potential to become a hit film.
No, firstly, I'm really honored to be in such a esteemed company. I'm like a baby in a toy store right now because it's my first film and it won the national, and I'm here with such experience and senior. So yeah, coming to the question, Komal sir, it was my first film as a director. Rather, I wanted to direct a film and I wanted to tell a story which is really close to my heart, something that I really want to tell from the bottom of my heart, something that really is driving me, something that is really triggering me. Yeah. Something that is really triggering me, something that's really driving me. And for me, at that moment, even today, that subject, that issue was water, is water. Because I think we people who live in the metros, in the cities, are very detached some way from the ground reality of situations. So the water crisis that is happening in the country, across the world, especially in the interiors, people are dying because of water as we speak right now. There is pollution of water, there is scarcity of water, there is water mafia, as they say, the next world war is going to be water. It's already started. I think nations have already started. The wars are happening. There have been cross-border, whatever is happening is because of water. So I wanted to, and yes, and coming from metros, we are a little, like if you go and meet a random person, he won't even know where the water is coming from. Like I'm come from Mumbai, so the water. If you ask someone probably of my age, where the water comes from in your house, I'm sure 80% people won't know.
99% won't.
I mean, Tansa Lake, Vaitarna Lake, where they are, people won't know that. It's quite sad because we have become quite detached. There's a history to it, there's a reason behind it. But yes, so I have felt I should do something on this. So I started doing research on the subject of water, and I stumbled upon a story of a common man living in a small village called Nagdarwadi in the Nanded district of Maharashtra. Nanded district comes in the Marathwada region, and we know Marathwada is a very drought-prone area of Maharashtra. And in that village especially, people had to walk 4 to 5 kilometers every day to fetch water. And because no water, hence no agriculture, no employment, nothing. And people had to move around in search of labor work across the state in the summer season. So it was very sad. And this is the state in most of the cities, even today, most of the villages, even today in that part. And this one man, and because of this situation, nobody would give their daughter in marriage in that village. This was also, most of the men were unmarried. And there was this one man called Hanuman Kendre. He got engaged to a girl who was little from Nanded side. And engagement हो गया और उनको पता चल गया कि अरे this guy is from Nagdarwadi and there is a major water crisis and problem there. They called up the wedding. And he was shattered. Getting married is a big thing, and he found a really nice girl and he was really shattered. He went to the girl and he requested her, I want to marry you, not no one else. but I'll marry you when there is water in my village. Will you wait for me? And what happens is the film.
Wow.
And today that village has water round the year, and it supplies water to its neighboring 5 villages. And Hanuman Kendre also has a mineral water plant in that village.
Rightly, as it said, love can move mountains.
Can.
But that also is very heartening to know that in spite of knowing that you will not get the money, you still pursue your dream and passion and see to it that you make a film.
Exactly.
Doesn't matter if it doesn't sell.
No, it is my responsibility.
Wow.
I have to tell the story.
I think we should not be...
If I am not, who will tell the story?
This one deserves a round of applause. Very nice. Dr. Biju?
Me too. I have luckily there is a good producers to me, but the same problem is that.
Does it mean in Malayalam cinema the awareness is more, in Kannada cinema it is less? Does it mean that?
No. That is not like that. In Malayalam cinema also we are producing around 200 films, but these type of meaningful films are only producing 2 or 3.
Oh.
So all of them are big entertainment films. The thing is that we get the producers, but how this film get back the money? It is a very important thing. And I think because we are in the IFFI platform, it is I think this is the right platform to tell one more thing. Earlier, if one movie is selected into the Indian Panorama or getting a national award, it will be taken by the Doordarshan. So it will telecast in a best of Indian cinema section. But it's unfortunately it is stopped. So they will give 25 lakhs. It's a good amount for an independent film. So now, unfortunately, for the last 7 or 8 years, it was closed.
Oh.
And they said that it is not profitable. The best of Indian cinema slot in Doordarshan is not profitable. So that's why they stopped the film. It's ridiculous. So now if my movie is getting into Indian Panorama, I will get to me, my producer and my actor get 3 tickets, get 3 days hospitality, and then go back. Then my question is, what is the use of Indian Panorama? What is the use of actually the national award? That's a big question.
Yes. I think this needs to be consideration addressed. Yes. You know, Adi's father is a prolific Marathi filmmaker. He has made all commercial hits, super hits and blockbusters. Did commercial constraints guide you during the making of Pani?
No, it was that. I mean, so I have a different notion. I mean, rather even my dad also agrees the same thing. I think there is no such thing as commercial cinema. I think there is good cinema, and if that is promoted well, projected well, it becomes commercial, and that is my driving force with subjects like these. I believe. This is my first attempt, so I'm going to experience it now, because the film is yet to release now. So the film is ready now. We are planning to get the release thing, the backing and all that. So probably a year from now, I will be able to answer this question better. But
I hope you say we never thought of the commercial side, but it became such a commercial hit.
Inshallah.
Very nice. This kind of cinema, as you said, except for 3 tickets and hospitality, what are the other platforms available to this kind of cinema? Like you said, we put it up on YouTube. Are there set platforms, or you've got to just rely on YouTube and things like that?
No, there are no such. I mean, even recent days we have Netflix and Amazon Prime also. They have to come forward to put their film on their OTT platforms. Doordarshan is stopped, like Biju told.
Yes.
They are not buying our film. How will we get back the amount? That's the major question. They have to come forward.
Yeah.
Everyone has talk about social responsibility.
Probably it's okay if you don't make money, but at least you need to get your cost back.
At least.
Like to add something?
I think we need to show the. So basically, I think it's the power of storytelling. I think it's the power of storytelling. It is with great power comes great responsibility. So with this power, there is so much you can do, directly, indirectly, and it's up to how you tell the story. I think. So like for example, in my house, like when I was a kid, my grandmom used to tell me stories while putting me to sleep, and for me she was the best storyteller. And so when something had to be told to me to not to do something, when she would tell me through her stories or something, it used to touch me and it used to move me, and I used to follow that. I think as a filmmaker, we have the same responsibility, and whoever can tell the best story the best way, whichever way. There's no, as I said again, I don't believe in commercial film. This is a commercial. It's a good film, a good story, a story well told. Like there are films in Marathi which are very realistically shot, like Killa. There is Fandry, which have amazing response from the audience.
True.
So I say that they were commercial or they were art films. They were films. They were told.
They were good films.
They were genuinely told. Yeah.
True.
And when you have something to tell, like for example, for waters, let's save water. So if you package it with a good story, and if you try to be as honest as you can to that story, and at the same time hold the audience for that 2 hours and entertain them,
it will make
it's a big responsibility that you're doing as a filmmaker.
Very tough question. He himself is a producer. He knows everything. Since he is asking the same question, and also actor. Whose responsibility? Is it the responsibility of filmmaker?
Or the
Is this the responsibility
audience,
of government
or the public?
But I think it's a huge responsibility for a government, because the government should set up a model for the responsible civilians, for the responsible people, for the socially concerned audience. So the government is should be more concentrated on this, rather the filmmakers or the viewers. Government should make a good cultural environment. That's an important thing, for making a cultural environment to watch good films, to produce good films, and to spread good films. And not only the films, all the art medium.
All art and culture.
All the art and culture. So they should make a good cultural environment. That is the prime responsibility of all governments.
Adi, you'd like to add something? Marathi cinema is doing so well. It's in the best of health.
I think I completely respect and agree with everything you were saying, but somewhere deep down in my heart, I think it is a responsibility of the storyteller. I think if the story has the power to reach, it will reach, and that will change the trend, and that has changed the trend in Marathi. Like we were complaining in the early 2000s about Marathi cinema. Audience is not coming to the theaters, not going to the theaters. Suddenly, one film comes and the trend changes. It's the power of storytelling. I think it's not just storytelling, but also it's like, everything has to fall in place. A good story, well promoted, at the right time. It all has to fall in place. It's all. There's no formula for success. It's just you have to keep hitting that wall until you strike one.
How many movies producing in Marathi in 1 year?
Quite a lot. I think there are around 200 minimum. 200.
Nowadays. So all the movies get the theaters.
No. Even Marathi has a lot to struggle. Then we cry because Marathi has to. I think Marathi audience is definitely very receptive and very open to different kind of content. But they also are audience who watch not just Marathi but Bollywood and Hollywood films. So we have to compete not just within the Marathi cinema. We have to compete with Bollywood and Hollywood. So it's a big struggle for everyone, I think. But yes, again, I just have to end on one note. I think language now is, that barrier of language is slowly becoming a little blurred, because I think today the audience has been exposed to global content, and I'm watching, my friends who used to not watch films regularly are watching web series and on different languages, in Spanish with Eastern Europe.
That's why I agree, because all of our films traveling a lot. It's traveling almost all the entire world, a lot of festivals. And interestingly, it is telecasting in some other countries. It is buying some other countries, but unfortunately not our own place. That's the problem.
Thank you, Mr. Sheshadri. Thank you, Dr. Biju, and thank you, Adi.
Thanks so much.
I think one round of applause for this one reason, that despite so many hardships, despite no help from the government, from the societies, from society, as the gentleman there said, from the public, if there are makers who continue to make films with nature as a strong character, environment-based issues, which are not made purely and solely for the purpose of making money, but also to impart knowledge, to send a message across to people. I think that's a fantastic service they are lending to the film industry and to mankind and human beings in general. So thank you so much for being on this panel. Thank you for your inputs, and it was indeed a pleasure moderating the show. Thank you very much.